That's what we predicted. You know, they don't have sense because they don't have people who can reason in government. And now, look at where we are. You jailed Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is already a celebrity in prison. They said he has already become the president of the prison, but I doubt that is what Nnamdi Kanu wanted. But it must have been conferred on him just by respect, you know.
It is the irony of the century that the federal government spent millions of naira to transport Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to the farthest corner of the country, hoping to silence him in the isolation of the Northwest, only to inadvertently turn him into the most popular inmate in the history of the Nigerian Correctional Service. If you thought the prison president story was wild, you need to hear the latest analysis coming from the activist community, led by Omoyele Sowore, who is now painting a picture of a man who has transcended from being a prisoner to being a global celebrity behind bars. The headline you saw is trending for a reason. Nnamdi Kanu is now a celebrity in Sokoto jail. Today, Tuesday, December 2, 2025, we are breaking down the phenomenon that is unfolding inside the walls of the Sokoto Maximum Security Custodial Center. While the government hoped that moving Kanu away from his kinsmen would break his influence, reports are confirming that the exact opposite has happened. Omoyele Sowore, the convener of #RevolutionNow and a man who knows the inside of a DSS cell intimately, has weighed in on the situation, effectively telling the government, "You played yourself." Sowore's analysis suggests that by trying to bury Kanu, the state has only planted him, turning him into a symbol of resistance that resonates even with the prisoners in the caliphate who were supposed to be his enemies. Let's look at the facts that back up this celebrity status. Just days ago, we received the shocking report from The Sun that inmates in Sokoto had declared Kanu their president. They weren't fighting him, they were scrambling to touch the hem of his garment. They were listening to him speak as if he were holding a rally in Aba. Sowore points to this as the ultimate proof that the government's strategy of isolation has failed spectacularly. He argues that you can lock up a man, but you cannot lock up charisma. When a man walks into a prison yard with his head held high after a life sentence, wearing the same clothes he wore for 4 years, and speaks truth to power, he becomes an instant hero to the oppressed. And who is more oppressed than a prisoner? Sowore is highlighting a critical psychological shift. In Abuja, under the DSS, Kanu was a secret. He was hidden. No one saw him except on court days. But in Sokoto Prison, despite the maximum security, he is among the people, the forgotten people of the Nigerian justice system. By interacting with them, by hearing their stories, and by reportedly turning his cell block into a mini Radio Biafra, Kanu has built a constituency inside the very facility designed to crush him. Sowore's commentary suggests that Kanu has now achieved the status of a Nelson Mandela, where the prisoner becomes more powerful than the jailer. This celebrity status is not just about popularity, it is about power. Sowore wants that if Kanu controls the heart of the inmates, he controls the temperature of the prison. The prison wardens now have to treat him with a different level of respect, not just because he's a high-profile convict, but because he commands the loyalty of the yard. This is a security nightmare for the government. They wanted him anonymous. Instead of that, they have given him a stage. Every visitor, every lawyer, and every released inmate who leaves Sokoto will carry stories of the lion in the north, spreading his legend further than any radio broadcast ever could. We also have to connect this to the recent visit by Governor Alex Otion. When a sitting governor travels to a prison to visit an inmate, that inmate is no longer just a convict. He is a VIP. That visit alone cemented Kanu's celebrity status. It sent a message to the prison officials. This man matters. The world is watching. Sowore believes this visibility is Kanu's greatest shield. As long as he remains a celebrity prisoner, the government cannot easily harm him without triggering a national crisis. The spotlight is his protection. If you are finding this breakdown of the unintended consequences of the government's actions insightful, and you want to keep tracking the story of the most famous prisoner in Africa, please take a second right now to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We go beyond the headlines to show you the psychology of the struggle. The tragedy for the government is that they have run out of places to hide him. They moved him from the DSS to Kuje, but Kuje was too porous. They moved him to Sokoto, thinking the distance and culture would silence him, but his message crossed the divide. Where else can they take him? If they move him again, they only spread his gospel to a new set of inmates. So what this point is clear. The Nigerian state has inadvertently created a myth that is now bigger than the man himself. So as Nnamdi Kanu sits in a cell today, he is not just serving a life sentence, he is holding court. He is proving that influence is not about location, it is about identity. The government wanted to make him a nobody in Sokoto. Instead, they made him a celebrity. What do you think? Is Sowore right? Has the government made a mistake by turning Kanu into a prison celebrity? Or do you think the harsh conditions of Sokoto will eventually break him despite the inmate support? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.